Apo, just a few scenes that I had to do. It's gonna come out, I think, in December, and then next week I'm gonna start filming for The Ride, which I'm doing with Kali Chari. It's a suspense crime thriller, and it's gonna come out sometime this year as well. And then I'm jumping on to another show, which is a musical, Ibarra, which is gonna come out in June. So I'll be busy with that, and shortly after that, I'm touring in July, and then there's another film I'm doing when I get back in August or September. So it's a pretty booked year. And
You're making busy an understatement,
hindi ko rin alam kung ba't ko ginagawa to. Well, blessings keep coming in, so I just take on the challenge, and just I always get inspired when I go to an uncharted territory and challenge myself to come up with something that I've not done before. So I guess bottom line is to just really stay active, to just keep on doing what you're doing and doing what you know best.
Thanks,
Thanks,
PJ.
Flea.
Hindi ka naman masyadong busy.
Hindi ko nga alam eh.
But what's amazing is he still manages to stay very fit and well.
I think it's part of the territory. Just like what I said kanina, how can you enjoy your wealth if you're not healthy, diba? So you are your own product, and for you to be able to enjoy the fruits of your hard work, you want to be mobile, you want to be agile, you want to be active.
So, because we just mentioned how busy you are, what is the health regimen of Piolo Pascual? Like, what's a day in your life in terms of your diet, your exercise? What is it that you do to look like that?
I give importance to sleep. I give importance to positivity. Keeping your mind free of any negative elements around you, and being motivated by the things that come your way with work. And I reward myself with the food I eat, and of course a good balance of things. Hindi naman pwedeng straight ka lang dito kasi magkakaroon ng point na mababurnout ka, di ba? So I always make it a point to balance it out by sleeping right, eating right, eating healthy, and also exercise. I train every day. I want to be prepared for anything that comes my way, especially like I'm doing a race. So for you to be able to finish that race and finish well, you got to be prepared for that. And I guess it's important to give value to your own being, especially nowadays that there are so many things happening around us with all the chaos. In the midst of all the sufferings, it's important for us to be that light that can inspire people, and just stay positive para hindi mabigat yung pakiramdam.
Optimistic and being positive. What about you, Carla? What's your health?
Oh, I'm Miss Carla. What about you?
Na-hot seat mo ko, Piolo dyan. Okay, so health regimen, I try to stay active. So meaning I do strength training twice or thrice a week just to get myself active. With the pandemic, it has restarted that, so that's a good thing, I would say. The second is, as Piolo also mentioned, I try to keep a healthy diet. So I eat my veggies kahit na minsan ayoko, but it's part of it's part of living well. And I always get annual health checkups. So the annual health checkups will let me know if there are some things that I need to work on. And then a part of that, of course, is mental health, which is very important. So I try to de-stress by indulging in my hobbies. So that would include watching Netflix. I'll look out for your series. I also like, spending time with my loved ones, because that's also part of de-stressing. And not just loved ones, but also friends. And of course, having myself protected with a health insurance plan.
It's,
What about you, Jed?
Kala mo dyan, ha? Ikaw lang
You run.
magtatanong
I run out of money. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I make sure to get at least 7 to 10,000 steps a day. You don't. I think when it comes to health, each has their own way of working out. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a rigid type of diet or exercise. As long as you're doing something to keep yourself moving, staying fit, diet, balancing everything. I think that's the great thing about it. Everything in moderation.
Amen.
Alright, so let's go to our final question. Miss Tess, meron pa ba?
Kayo naman.
I have 3 questions.
3 more questions, okay.
We have have Jojo, Panaligan of Friday PH.
Yung first question ko kay Carla. Carla, paano in-address ng Sun Life yung COVID situation, especially at its height? I understand kasi na ang kino-cover lang na illnesses ng Sun Life ay may listahan yun, di ba? And COVID came to us from out of nowhere. So, natulungan ba despite na wala yung COVID sa listahan?
Okay, so that's true, no? So how did Sun Life respond? It was actually featured in one of those videos. We came out with Sun ICU Protect because we recognized that the COVID-19 situation put a lot of Filipinos in a perilous circumstance. So that particular product was meant to address that. But apart from that, before we launched the Sun ICU Protect, Sun Life also extended assistance to our policyholders who were stricken by COVID. How did we do that? We expedited claims, especially for hospitalization benefits. We expedited claims as well for death claims. Apart from that, Sun Life also gave out life insurance protection coverage for healthcare workers during that time. Apart from those, also our philanthropic efforts through our head office in Canada, even locally, we donated PPEs to healthcare workers as a form of protection for our frontliners. So, but as far as product is concerned, we did come out with Sun ICU Protect.
Pero may chance ba na masama ang COVID sa list of illnesses? Or if something similar arises in the future, like another pandemic, knock on wood?
Okay, so the way we define critical illness, COVID-19 at that time it's something new. To be honest, no one was prepared that it was gonna be a pandemic. Now, was it a critical illness at that time? Yes. But today, as far as we know, we already have the vaccines. The death rate has drastically gone down. So I would say it can be a part of a critical illness at that time, but this day it's not. But you can still claim from your health insurance protection if you have a particular benefit which we call daily hospital income benefit. So it means if you're hospitalized, regardless of the illness, you get a certain cash benefit guaranteed. And so still it can be covered even though it's not specifically mentioned in the contract that it's COVID-19.
Thanks. My last question goes to Piolo. Piolo, I'm sure when you realized how important insurance is to people, you went out of your way or maybe even invited your loved ones to get one, no? Ano yung napansin mong dahilan or kung saan nagagaling yung hesitation ng Pinoy kung ba't ayaw nilang kumuha, and what was your counter argument to convince them?
One of the first things I did when I started out, when I started working, of course, was getting insurance, and then eventually right away my son and my family, all my siblings, and the rest of the family. I guess there's a misconception kasi about insurances, so that's why I'm happy with how Sun Life has handled it through the years. Coming out with different policies, and like si Miss Carla, she's a walking Sun Life information. Anything you have to know, you can just ask her. That's why we also have financial advisors. It's important to have that kind of relationship, a personal relationship, so that you can explain to your clients or people who are interested to get the kind of information that they need to know, because back in the day, hindi naman natin alam itong mga to, diba? So now we made it more personal. That's why we have the financial advisors that can attend to you personally and just explain everything so that you will know it better or explain it to you better. What can you add to that, Ms. Carla?
Siguro, I would say it's a matter of perspective, like Piolo mentioned a while ago. Being financially disciplined takes a while, so that behavior needs to be nurtured, I would say. So we were lucky because Piolo himself is financially disciplined. I mean, he had that perspective at the onset. And so he had that ready mindset to when he talks to a financial advisor, to Chiki, no, na I want to grow my money, I want to protect my income, I want to be able to afford things and grow my wealth for my son and my loved ones. And so I would say it's really a matter of showing Filipinos the value of insurance, why you need it, why it's crucial to have it, especially if you have, I would say, predisposed to certain illnesses. Kasi just one illness, it can plunge a family into poverty. And so this is what we advocate. That's why if you noticed, Sun Life is very big on financial education, because we're also cognizant of the fact that not many Filipinos really appreciate, no, the benefits of having life insurance and health insurance. And so this is why we need you, the media, to become our allies in getting more Filipinos educated on why it is important to be prepared.
And also, using ambassadors like us to be able to send the message across better.
That's true, yes, because Filipinos, we love Piolo. And so it helps because Piolo is also a walking billboard of Sun Life.
Any follow-up question to that? That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jojo. Next, we have Matthew Perez of Daily Tribune.
Hello, everybody. This is Matthew Perez from the Daily Tribune. My question will be for both Carla and PJ. Let's start with Carla. Carla, there are a lot of people who may not have discovered insurance yet, and a lot of the biggest importance that financial advisors are stressing is to start young. What about those who are, say, for example, already in their mid-30s? You will see stuff on Facebook that you won't get as much if you invested in your 20s as opposed to when you invested in your 30s. How would you address this? Wouldn't this be encouraging to people who are, say, in their mid-30s onwards?
So I would say it's never too late, no? Of course, I'll message it first. Why do we advocate people to get insurance early? The reason for that is the premiums are lower or more affordable when you're younger. Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot be covered with insurance already when you're in your mid-30s. What we're saying is it's never too late to start preparing for the future. And so, even those, we have policy owners who started even at their 50s, at their 60s. Maybe they get it for their loved ones. Maybe they use it to prepare for retirement. And so there's really not an optimal age to get it. So what we're saying is it's never too late to start.
All right, thank you. And for PJ, my question would be, what financial advice are you going to give people from all walks of life, particularly your fans?
Well, take it from me, like how I started and how I envisioned, my career, that it's work, and you work for the money, you work for your passion, and you have to set aside a certain part of your income, not just for yourself but for your family and your family's future. And it's really important for us to give extra care to ourselves, our needs, our well-being, so that we'll be able to enjoy the fruits of our hard work. And yeah, just give importance to life. I mean, and enjoy your life, when you can with your loved ones, and be practical about things. These are all practical things. Eating healthy, living right, having the right mindset, and giving importance to your mental health. And don't splurge on things you don't really need. And be wise. Be wise with your earnings. Be wise with your income, and always set aside something for yourself and your family for the future. So these are the things that I live by.
All right, thank you so much.
I think I'd like to add to Carla's answer earlier, no? Kasi the question was, why when it's younger versus when they're older? Other than the fact that premiums are much more affordable, it's also because in terms of the investments, the younger you are, the more time for the money to grow. But at the same time, do you guys know that we have different insurance products that can also be covered even later stages in life. Meron kaming Sun Senior Care, and there are also insurance policies that don't even need to be underwritten. Meaning, may guaranteed insurance offer siya, it's going to be accepted 100%. So my recommendation is talk to a Sun Life financial advisor
financial
today
advisor.
to get the best product that's suited for you. Alright. Sige, do we have any other questions? Ms. Tess, meron ba?
Yes, we have Marinelle Cruz of Inquirer.
Hello. Can you
Hi,
hear me,
Marinel.
guys? Hi. So, ang taas ng Okay, one question lang daw sabi ni Tess. Anyway, so Peach, yung campaign, well, sakto naman because you were mentioning about financial education. So, campaign is Wheel of Life. So, parang loosely translated, ano siya, gulong ng palad, di ba? Parang, was there ever, parang it means lang na sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. So, was there ever a point in your career or in your life when you felt so down financially, and how did you survive it? Also, you're a film producer, so how do you account for losses? How do you cope with losses? Mga ganyan. Thank you.
Thank you, Marinel. Nice to see you. Mas maraming losses sa production, so hindi ko lang kung ba't siya pinasok. Pero personally sa career ko, I'm thankful, I'm grateful that through the years, I never had to consider quitting just because, my movie didn't become a hit, or because, I'm the kind of person that is very practical. I don't buy things that I cannot afford. So even if I have the money, I make sure that I save up first before I get something, so that I know wala akong babayarang utang. So even if there's nothing coming, or if I'm not earning anything, I don't have to worry about having to pay my loans because hindi ako nangungutang ng hindi ko kayang bayaran. So through the years, that's one of the reasons why I stay afloat, is because I'm always practical. But with the production, it's really hard. How am I able to cope with that? I guess just like the wheel of life, you'll never know, But nowadays, it's more calculated risk because of the emergence of the new platforms. So we're happy because we're back on track. But there were years that we had to really take a back seat and just assess for ourselves if what we were doing was still okay, it was still feasible. But of course, there were still some people or investors that trusted us. So we managed to, survive. And just the same, I guess, marami ring risks in terms of producing. But I guess ang importante is your passion and knowing that there are people who believe in your product. So just keep on going, and you'll never know when you can hit the jackpot, just like what we had with Kita Kita. So now because of that, our outfit is able to thrive, and now we have more films lined up. So I guess learning there is to not just be practical, but to also know, what you're getting yourself into, and knowing that there's some benefits to it, not just monetary, but also for everyone else, para hindi naman lahat lugi. So yeah.
So, take risks pero live within your means. Ganyan.
Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Alam mo na i-word yan, Marinel, ikaw na yan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marinelle. Next, we have Janice Navida of Polcar.
Ayan. Hello. Ayan, Papa P, finally.
Nagkadaw yung boses ni Janice. Hi!
Miss you, Papa P.
I miss you too.
As you've mentioned earlier, you've prepared your life for the future, and you almost have everything na, di ba? Of course, aside
Kinakabahan ako
aside from having your own family. But my question is, 14 years from now, do you still see yourself working?
Wow. Yeah, of course. I was with Tito Dante Rivero the other day. He's playing Gomez in Gumburza, and he's 77 years old. I remember asking Tito Boy and De Leon and Tita Sandy back in the day when we were doing a show together. I said, because at that time I was contemplating on not just leaving, but also try to diversify and do other things. But they said, why would you quit if you enjoy what you're doing? And yun yung passion nila. So, I was kind of, awestruck by that. Being in the business for decades, and they still have the same passion, the same dedication and energy. And then fast forwarding to Tito Dante, the other day I said, Tito Dance, one of my first work was with him 25 years ago, or actually more than 25 years ago in Esperanza. And this is Sandaling Kailangan Mo Ko, which was in 1998. And now we got to work again together, and I said, why you still do what you do? Because, you know, it keeps you active, you know, not just mentally but physically. So ang sa akin, 14 years down the road, you know, I thought I was going to retire at 40 because I'm a very simple person, knowing that I'm already settled. You know, thanks to Sun Life, I don't have to worry about my future because I'm covered and I'm protected, even my health. But